Good morning, everyone. It's a great day to be at Damonte Ranch High School, and we want to thank them for being here. Thank you all for being here today. It means a lot to us. I am Katie Simon Holland. I'm the Vice President of the Board of Trustees. And, of course, Dr. Angie Taylor regrets so much that she can't be here today, and I know I speak for everyone here in sending our good wishes to Angie. We want to first thank the Damonte Ranch Jazz Combo and Director of Bands, Mr. Steve Schifferdecker, for our intro music. Great job getting us pepped up and energized. This is a happy day. It's a fun day, and we're here to share this really wonderful and exciting beginning with you, and to thank you, and to celebrate the beginning of our work to relieve overcrowding and repair our older schools. And this is just the beginning. As you know, some schools will see repair work begin next week during spring break, and then huge repairs and upgrades to other schools will begin this summer, and more new schools as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors. Presenting the colors this morning is Damonte Ranch's own high school Mustang Battalion Color Guard, and commanding the presentation of our nation's colors is Cadet Chief Petty Officer Joel Robertson, and a special thanks to Color Guard Advisor Master Sergeant Scott Crockett.
March. Color Guard, hold. Right, face. Carry, colors. Ready, cut. Present, colors.
Please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. And now to sing the national anthem, please welcome Damonte Ranch's Pew Moso under the leadership of Choir Director Jennifer Tibbin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies. Beautiful job.
Carry, colors. Speak. Order, colors. Ready, cut. Right, face. Forward, march.
Thank you so much. You may be seated. And thank you, Color Guard. There are so many people to thank, and a few perspectives we want to share with you. And each of our speakers today will thank a specific person or two, but please know that each speaker and everyone here is thankful to the entire community and everyone who helped us get here. I'd like to begin by thanking Louis Damonte for donating all of this land for this entire school, and to invite up our first speaker, who was a big part of making that original donation happen, Mr. Perry DiLoretto, who is my good friend. Thank you, Perry.
Well, thank you, everyone, and for being here. It is a beautiful day, but it's also a very important day. Just to give a little historical perspective of how this all came about, this land had been and other lands had been in the Damonte family for nearly 100 years. They were what we would call pioneers of the valley. They dug the irrigation canals that brought the water down so that they could grow their crops and water their cattle. I was fortunate enough to be part of the next group that came along and was entrusted with moving this land into its next purpose. And one of the things that we recognized as developers very early on was the importance of balance when you undertake a project of this significance. Damonte Ranch, which is comprised of almost 2,000 acres, has room for 6,000 residential units. We currently have almost 4,000 families living here now. And we can now see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel when this will be all developed out. But the point that I would like to make is how important we always felt the educational component was, not only for Damonte Ranch, but for our entire community. And to have this beautiful high school built and now moving on to the addition that we're going to have here to meet our growing student population. On behalf of the Damonte family and myself personally, I take a great deal of pride in telling you that we couldn't be more pleased with the way all of this has turned out. We couldn't be more pleased with the support that our community, through the leadership of many that stepped up in our last election, to approve a very significant amount of money for the continuation of our schools. So the message for our students that are maybe here and maybe listening, and those that are going to pass through these halls and go on to what we are sure and hopeful will be very successful careers, is the importance that our community places on education and our demonstration of that importance by encumbering ourselves into the future to support monetarily all the needs that are going to be required. We have a wonderful education system. We have a marvelous school board. We have dedicated superintendents and staff that I know are committed, and they understand and recognize the tremendous responsibility that they bear in continuing to provide the quality of education and access to education for every child by face and by name as we move into the future. So congratulations to all of us as a community for being able to achieve what we've done here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Perry. And it is good to remember those kids that are learning right now inside there for whom we're doing all of this. And we couldn't be here without so many community supporters fighting for us. And though by law, the school district couldn't coordinate the campaign for WC1, we saw what those volunteers accomplished, and they succeeded where so many had tried and failed before. I'd like to acknowledge Abby Whitaker, who is here. Abby, please stand. Alex Bybee, who could not be here, but I'm sure everybody in this place knows Alex Bybee's face by now. Nikki Bailey Lundahl, my friend. Thank you. The Washoe Education Association, I saw Elaine Lancaster is here somewhere, and Natha. Elaine, nice. Okay, thank you. And our teachers who deserve generations worth of thanks. Thank you so much. Their campaign could not have succeeded without volunteers, ordinary working people, unpaid, to advocate for our schools and our children. Our next speaker is one of those people. Please welcome Brandy Anderson.
Good morning. My name is Brandy Anderson, and I have two boys, one in middle school and one in elementary school, and they're both zoned for this high school. Like all parents in this part of town, we've been suffering through and coping with all of the overcrowding issues for long before most of the community knew we had them. In the spring of 2015, the district came to us and really laid out the reality of what was going on with the overcrowding in our area. And I can't tell you how terrified I was to know about double sessions and about the reality of the fact that if WC1 didn't pass, both of my boys would likely be on double sessions. I can't tell you how scared I was that it would fail. How would that affect my children's lives? Not to mention all of our property values, knowing all of the schools surrounding our homes were on multi-track or double sessions. And what would that say overall about our community and our values? So I got involved right away because someone needed to fight for our children and our community's future. I'm so thankful for the Save Our Schools campaign, and I thank Abby for inviting me into it. and particularly thankful for all the volunteers that are out here, brave parents and non-parents that worked tirelessly out in the community to educate our community about the gravity of the situation that we were in. Those conversations weren't easy for a lot of us, and we got out of our comfort zones, and I'm really proud of all the moms and the people that are just engaged in our community. One of my favorite volunteers was this little old man who canvassed for us every day, and he was amazing. We couldn't have done it without all of you, and I'm so proud to have been part of the SOS team. And I'm thankful to the school district. They sounded the alarm early enough so that parents could get involved and make a difference. More than that, I'd like to thank them for keeping their promise. The school district promised that if WC1 passed, this project would be #1 and they would fast track it as quickly as they could. And it passed, and here we are today breaking ground. I'm thrilled to be here, knowing that the work we did on the issue will positively affect our children and our community for years to come. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Brandy, and thank you all of the volunteers. And I also want to acknowledge Richard J., who is here and has been quite a force on the campaign. Richard, stand up. As I do want to clarify, Richard does not work for the school district, although many people believe that he does. Without people like Richard and Abby and Alex and Nikki and Brandy, all of those folks, we would not be here. And as Brandy said, the school district did a great deal, did everything it could to educate the community on the need. So to talk about that, let's welcome our superintendent, Ms. Tracy Davis.
Thank you, Vice President Katie Simon. Put my glasses on here so I can see. So as all of you know, the district worked hard to educate our community on the issues we faced. As Brandy told you, we went out, and we want to especially thank everyone here that made that happen. Sparks and Reno Rotary Clubs, parents who invited us into their living rooms, parent-teacher groups, businesses, political groups, the chamber, the union groups who provided us dinner in their homes late at night to talk to teachers and everybody else. Thank you all for helping us reach out to a variety of networks that we would not have been able to reach out to. I'd also like to thank all of our district staff who helped make these presentations. Dozens of district staffers fanned out across the county to present at these meetings and also at each and every one of our 93 schools. But it was a true team effort. But I have to single out our #1 capital ambassador, Chief Operating Officer Pete Etchart. Pete was a man on a mission. Where are you, Pete? There you go. He was a man on a mission, and he made presentations nights, weekends, wherever and however. And there were times I was like, Pete, are you sure you want to go there by yourself? But he went because he knew how important it was for our children. I think Pete did more presentations than everyone else combined, including myself. We owe him a depth of gratitude for going so far above and beyond the call of duty. Pete, thank you. Could never express my appreciation for your work. And I also want to thank Riley Sutton. Riley, where are you? Wave somewhere. Riley was a man on a mission with communicating back and forth, and so we thank you for your hard work too. However, none of that would matter without our beloved P. Soren, the Public Schools Overcrowding Repairs Needs Committee. And I say this story all the time about a day where a young superintendent was at a Starbucks on Pyramid and McCarran, and the late Senator Debbie Smith says, "This is what I want to do." And I was like wide-eyed thinking, wait a minute. But her vision is why we are here today. That committee is how we arrived at this spot. The independent volunteer group of Peace One worked incredibly hard to determine the need and how to pay for it. I want to say thank you to my friend and chair of that committee, Sean Carey. His tireless work and dedication was critical for all of us. And Sean, as you come up, I want to say there were days that Sean pushed us to the limit, and and worked us hard, and that committee worked us hard. But I'll tell you, they worked us hard for the right reasons. And we are so appreciative because there are 64,000 reasons we will be successful with not only building schools to relieve growth, but to take care of our older schools. Thank you, Sean.
What a wonderful day. And this day was born out of the hard work of so many of you that are here today. It was born out of the work of our Senator, Debbie Smith. And Debbie was a member of our committee, and she fought tirelessly for the creation of this opportunity of SB 411, which created the committee that I chaired. And it isn't with any small heart that I remind you that Debbie fought for this bill with 1/2 hour left to go in the legislative session with Lindsay Anderson to get the governor to even sign the bill. And she kept that dedication as our committee convened. She was on the committee along with Assemblywoman Teresa Benitez Thompson, and we had their strong political support and will. But I want to thank Debbie from the very bottom of my heart. As she was fighting the battle for her very life, she continued to attend our meetings. She called into our meetings, and she did so because this meant so much to her. Her husband Greg is here today, and if you have an opportunity to meet this fine gentleman, I want you to know that they were a wonderful family. And Debbie is on this stage today, seeing and feeling all of your hearts. And if you could just join me in just a round of applause for her life. A true champion of our community whose legacy will be remembered forever. Now about our committee, it was a committee of 15 people from all across our community. Its members were dedicated to finding the right solution. We poured over tax tables, we poured over data, we brought in consultants, and we looked at things every which way. And we came up with a plan which was ultimately approved to be placed on the ballot, and the rest, as they say, is history. I want to especially thank my vice chair, Mr. Dylan Shaver, because if you ever have a problem, call Dylan, because he has a mind like no other. He saved me from more than one Harrison Ford landings as I chaired this committee. And I want you to know, Dylan, I appreciated your leadership and your mind most of all, because you're one very bright person. But our community is well served by the members of this committee. They gave of their time, their talent, and we handed it off to just an extraordinary team. And that team was the team that was formed SOS. And so I just want to close by saying one more time, thank you to Debbie Smith and her family for making this day possible for the children now and for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean. We are not building just to build, but we are building to support our students and our staff. And I don't know if you heard the buzz earlier, but there was a sophomore flying a drone. We have kids taking pictures and video, and they will be doing a lot of that for their work for their webpage. You heard the beautiful voices of the women's choir and the ensemble. But many great things are happening in Washoe County. When we talk about academics, we are not here by chance. I remember meeting Denise Househauer as a principal, and she was telling me a story about when she arrived at Damonte Ranch, the graduation rate was 50%. And she had a mission before we went global with the mission to get that to, I think you were thinking 100%. Denise is like every kid. But the road to graduation, Damonte High School put up a 90% graduation rate. That's not by chance. That's by hard work of teachers in our building and the staff and administration and the students and the parents that support them. I would like to invite you and your students up right now, Principal Househauer, to have some words.
Thank you, Superintendent Davis, and thank you all for being here. We are super excited. The Damonte Ranch High School community has been working in overcrowded conditions for a very long time now. Even in tight spaces, teachers and students have been able to do remarkable things. I'm actually very excited to see what they can achieve in a building that actually has adequate space for great learning to occur. I want to thank all of the community sincerely from my heart for seeing the tremendous need that exists in the Washoe County School District and in our schools, and for supporting all of our students in our city. It's through efforts like this that our children are going to thrive. Speaking of children thriving, I would like to thank one of our sophomores, the superintendent pointed towards, Mr. Ryan Fournier. Ryan, wave at everybody back there. There's Ryan. He is flying. He's taping the ceremony from on high. He's in charge of that drone, which basically terrifies me. Yeah, it's great we have students that are fearless. Now I would like to introduce one of the hardest working student body presidents around. Miss Salonis will share with you a little bit of the impact of this groundbreaking ceremony from the student perspective. Miss Salonis.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Savannah Salonis, and I have attended Damonte for all of high school. It has been a good experience with great teachers, staff, and friends, but it could have been better. As enrollment has grown, the school and students have suffered. Classes have been held in rooms not meant to be classrooms. Hallways have become increasingly difficult to navigate, and lunchtime is a nightmare. The mobiles help a bit, but not when the heating or air conditioning is broken, which definitely has happened. I have had the pleasure to serve as the student body president this past year. I got involved with student council in part to advocate for students and make things better for future classes. Though I will graduate this year, before the addition is built, I am happy because I know that this expansion can change students' experience from a good 4 years, like mine, to a great high school career. Now, I'd like to introduce a good friend who will get to experience these positive changes, Thaddeus Lamb.
Thank you, Savannah. As she said, my name is Thaddeus Lamb. I am the incoming student body vice president. And today I would be speaking instead of my incoming student body president, Megan Flynn, who will get to do the shoveling. I know, right? I chose like the right position. On behalf of all the students who will be positively affected by this expansion, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you who saw our overcrowding issue and decided to take action on that problem. I personally am looking forward to having enough space in the building to have one-on-one opportunities with my teachers. It would be a welcome change to our environment. Speaking of our environment, I know that students here will be looking forward to not facing Nevada's extreme weathers as we travel every day to the mobiles through rain, sun, snow, flood, wind, and possibly our hopes of warmth. So this expansion will also mean we can find our teachers. They will have a definite location instead of moving from room to room like they do now. So again, on behalf of the student body, we look forward to the better future of education at our school. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, I want to thank you to the staff in every school. We know the road to graduation does not start in high school. It starts pre-KK, and graduation is the summative. And because of their hard work, we see success across this district. With passage of WC1, help is finally coming for those schools that need repairs also. And I want to thank you in advance to the contractor for this project, Clark and Sullivan. Where are you here? Hi. This is where I put you on blast to stay on schedule. No, just joking. Gotta deliver. We're happy to have a local contractor creating local jobs also. And we know you'll get it done in a timely manner and within our budget, and we're so appreciative of that. And to wrap up, I would like to bring up the two trustees for Damonte High School, Veronica Franco and Scott Kelly.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Kelly. I'm the district representative for this terrific school. And I am Veronica Frankel. I'm the area representative at large for this area. I'm also the proud mother of a former Damonte Ranch Mustang. So I had to say that for Denise. So we are so excited for this expansion to be open, and we know how badly it is needed. This expansion is actually 2 additions to this school. One part will go on the grass behind me, and another addition will be added on the opposite side of this wing. On the far side, on the opposite side, there will be 6 classrooms built, 5 regular rooms and 1 business lab. On this side, 6 regular rooms, 4 larger classrooms, 3 general science rooms, 1 chemistry lab, 1 computer lab, and 1 special education room, which can be subdivided into 3. Well, with that being said, again, thank you to everyone who have been mentioned so far, and to many others. This was really a community effort, and I'm proud to be part of this community. As representatives for this area, we know it's past time that we built this. So, Scott, I think we should stop talking and get started.
I agree. Okay, so I'm going to start introducing some folks and having them come up to the staging area over here. First, I'd like to introduce my fellow school board trustees, Trustee Mayer, Trustee Feemster, Trustee Simon Holland, and Trustee Raymond. Please come up. Grab